Hi Lifers, I'm back. I'm here with a soft glam eye tutorial. I guess soft and glam. This could also, for me, be used for bridal makeup. So something very simple, soft. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I first wanted to go over what my favorite, what I would consider soft glam, which first in the name, soft glam, or bridal, things I would use for bridal makeup if I was ever to. So these, I don't know how they come across on camera, but you always have your black, your white. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's got your little pinky purples, your shimmers. This one, orange soda, is a little bit of a peachy. It's got pretty much anything you could ever need for bridal, or I guess you could really use it for a smoky look too. Laura Lee Los Angeles, I think both of her palettes can be used for soft glam, and also look at those shimmers. But also for bridal makeup, they're very good. This is Nudie number 2, and this one is Nudie Patootie number 1. This is a for sure, if you can see, bridal makeup type look. I haven't used these in so long. I actually think I might use them for this. And then for every eye look I ever use, I like to have this one, which is the Transition palette by, it's so well loved, isn't it? Transition palette by Dominique Cosmetics. It has everything you need in there ever. It has, you could probably contour with this, contour, blush, any kind of eye looks you could probably have in there. And then these are some gray tones and then a really good black. I think every palette needs to have a good black. And then I'm also going to dip into this one today. This is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. This also has a really good highlight, a blush, and then it has some beautiful shimmers. This one is actually more pinky. It comes across gold. It's like a pinky gold. This is more of a dark pink shimmer, and then you've got kind of a light pink color, and we start to go into the crease, and then to smoke it out, I would use that part. So I think today maybe I'll dip between Nudie Patootie 1 and the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So let's zoom you in. This is what I look like. I already did my brows and primed my lids, and the rest of my base is on. So you're always going to start, especially as a beginner, with a transition shade. So for that, I think I'm going to dip into, sorry, this is loud. I might dip into Streaking by, that's kind of funny. Streaking by Nudie Patootie. Let me get my, all those sounds right there are my son getting out of the shower. So sorry about that. Dip into Streaking and then dip in. Transition is always what you want your, all of your other shadows to blend into. I like my eye to always flick out and go up, because the older I get, as far as gravity, I want everything to blend upward. See where we're getting that? It's just a very light baby pink. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I always, so with the transitions, a lot of times once I start to make it in the crease, I blend out with patting motions, but my main transition shade, I just kind of go ham. I bring it almost up into my brow bone half the time. See? So this is what everything else is going to blend into, pretty much. Let me check on my mirror, make sure I'm not messing it up, because it really does come across differently in the camera than it does. And sometimes it'll look like I didn't blend shadow on this iPhone when I really did, and it looks really good in person. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't look blended on video. And then I think as we're going to deepen, I think we'll go into this transition shade in the Natasha Denona palette. I'm actually kind of gonna go back in between two different shades. Two different shades. One is gonna be, it's called Crease, because this one, the Natasha Denona, I've used this before. It actually labels what you should be putting on your eye and where. But I don't really like to do that. So I'm gonna mix Transition, and then I'm gonna mix this guy, the pinky shade up at the top, and it's called Bear. On the Nudie Patootie, it does, all of them are named after Nudie Patootie, like Nakey Nakey, Butt Naked, Jaybird, all the different kinds of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to tap off my brush. I mix those two together, and I'm going to start building here. Again, soft. We want this to be super blended. The more blended you want it, the farther back on the brush you go. Pretty. Again, mixing Bear and Transition together. You can always mix colors. If you like the tone, you kind of want an in-betweener tone of your eyeshadows, you can always mix. Same thing with foundation. If I'm in an in-betweener shade, or if I'm doing a client and they're not quite one shade, I'll mix them together, squirt them both on a palette. I'm just adding in a little more Bear because I kind of like that pinky tone. This is kind of staying a little lower, but I always like to go like that and kind of blend it into the next shadow like that. I really like the pinky tone of Bear. Man, I don't know if you're like me. Where you go back to a palette and you're like, why the heck did I just keep this in my drawer? It's so good. But I like love makeup, so I buy a lot of them, and then I forget about other ones, and I use one for a while, and then some palettes I only use. So there's our base. Some of them I only use for like holidays or certain things, like where in colors that I don't use a lot. So that's our look so far. And honestly, I love this for an everyday look. Just put a shimmer on it. And honestly, it could be a brighter look just with this and shimmer and then a lash. I'm going to deepen it up though, because that's the kind of person I am. And I'll probably dip back into the, it's called Crease Color in Natasha Denona Glam Palette. And I'm going to deepen us up. I'm just going to keep this straight in the crease. Just like that. We're going to deepen ourselves. This is not going to blend up at all into the other shade. This is strictly to define the crease color. For me, I always kind of go like that though. Again, we're dipping in a crease. We're going to go here. We're going to keep this just so the eye socket looks nice and defined and pretty. As you kind of go in, you can see the blend there, but sometimes it looks weird when I zoom out. Continue. Blend in the socket. Blend in the socket. And I think that we're done right there. Honestly, you can use the same brush for a lot of things. Anything for a main transition shade all over the lid and everything, I'll use a big fluffy one, and then the darker you want and more defined, you're going to use a little bit smaller. This is from Sephora. I actually like the Sephora collection brushes. I just bought my first ones on a Sephora sale, and they're like a Christmas holiday one, and they were like 60% off, and they're actually really soft. If you want a cheap, they're better than some other cheap brands like Morphe brushes. A lot of people go to those. This is better quality than that, and they're a lot softer. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to mix Butt Naked, which is this guy right here. Kind of a chocolatey, and in person, it's like chocolatey and rosy at the same time. I'm going to mix that, and I'm going to mix Smoke. For me, I just like a little bit of extra. I can't, just to define the outer corner. And we're going to press this in here. And wiggle it. And that defines the outer corner. Butt naked and smoke. And I'm just going to kind of go here because I don't want too much, especially for bridal makeup. You're not going to want something crazy because you're going to look back in photos and, you know, you could do these, you know, they do the colorful, crazy looks, which are amazing and super artistic, but you're going to look back on your wedding day and be like, this is nowhere near what you want. Minimal, light, and beautiful on your wedding day. I'm just kind of tapping that. And then I might like that. And anything I do, I'll either clean up with concealer if I'm not using eye tapes, or just clean up with powder when I'm done. Some people, if they're not sure, anytime you're starting with a shadow, I know this is just whatever, but anytime you're starting with a shadow and you've never tried the formula before and you're not sure if you're going to have a lot of fallout, you can always you don't put it right under your eye. You put setting powder, just a tiny bit of setting powder, like about right here, so that you can dust away anything that fallout is when you're blending something and it falls onto your face and you get the little extra here. And so if you don't know, and some shadows are amazing shadows, but they have a lot of fallout depending on how they're pressed. But if you're not sure, either do your eyes first, which is a lot of times if I'm doing a glam look, I'll do my eyes first because I know that it's gonna go everywhere. Like that. Again, this is blended up here. It's kind of hard to tell on camera. And then a lot of times I'll go back in with that initial shade, my crease shade, and take a, sorry, I'm looking down. Take a clean blender, just a completely clean brush, and I'll go over everything again. Oh, this is beautiful. And I'll kind of go like this and blend it out more. See how that kind of just blended everything? You can see there. And then you clean it off because you're going to go back. I'm cleaning it on my shirt. Oh, well. I don't have my trusty, and I'll start in the light shades and I'll just kind of diffuse all this like that. And then everything looks more blended. And then if I need to, I just kind of go back and forth, man. I might, if I got too much of this crease taken away, I might add a little bit in here. Kind of pat. I like for the outer corner, especially the pat blend. See how that blended better? Pat blend. Like that. Pat blend. So we've got our smoke, all that's done. Now we're just going to quickly add a shimmer. Now some people will cut their crease, which means they'll take concealer and cut wherever so things pop a little bit more. I don't really care about that today. So I'm going to go into, I think I'm done with the Nudie palette because I just love Natasha Denona shimmers are like no other. And so I'm going to add in outer corner. Oh, this is where, oh yeah. The beauty. And it doesn't even close to catch on what it is in person, but man, it just adds. And I just tap in here. And then as I go towards the inner corner, I'm going to add from the palette inner corner, and I'm going to do my shimmer so that it kind of has a gradient where it's lighter and then it kind of fades out this way. The glitter called inner corner. This is the best palette especially for travel too, man. This is like the main palette I take to, because even if I'm not doing anything special and I'm not doing glitter or anything else, this is a great just everyday palette. And then you've already got your blush. You don't have to pack. And you don't have to pack your blush. You don't have to pack a highlighter. It's all there. Because, I mean, half the time on vacation, I don't even wear makeup at all. But now I'm just going to go to clean everything up. I'm going to go into my Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just going to go here. And just that little bit of powder is going to clean up your edge. See? There to there. Cleans up the edge just with a little powder. And the reason I like Charlotte Tea is because if you want to get rid of some areas under your eyes, it's really hard to go ham with this powder. Like, you can't go overboard, and it's a really good powder for, it's the Flawless, Airbrush Flawless powder. If you need touch-ups, you're never, you know, if you put too much powder on your face and you need to, and you get a little greasy and you want to touch up again, this doesn't cake. Same thing over here. Start in the center. Oh, there we go. And it cleaned up our edge perfectly. So now we're done. This is where I do my setting spray because I don't do it after. You know what? I kind of went a little bit high in the powder, so I'm just going to kind of go here. There. This is where we do setting spray. This one's the Milani Make It Last. If I wanted an all-night look, I would be going with Urban Decay or Charlotte Tilbury, but this is a cheaper version, and it's fine for today because after this, I'm going to the gym. And I'm going to set, so I set my face, set my eyes, set the glitter. I'm not going to do lashes today because I just don't care to. Why would I put lashes on before the gym? But this is where you would do your liner and lashes, which I have a liner tutorial on how to do that. On another, you can look, I don't know how to link things yet, but normally if somebody could link something, I would link it above. But, oh, sorry, I'm just kind of going like this again to reset my makeup. It's a previous video that I've done is how to do wing liner. So that's it. And then I don't want to be super smoky because we said this is going to be light, but to thicken my eye, like, where is it? Shoot. I need to sharpen this guy. How are you today? See, there's my close up. Today that I am videotaping this is a Sunday, and the World Cup is on. So if you hear noise, that's what's going on. Lionel Messi just scored, well, someone else did too, but he scored the first goal with a penalty kick. That was pretty exciting. So this is tight lining. This is waterline. This is tight lining. So I'm not putting anything down here because I'm not looking for a super smoky look with a soft glam. So I'm going to go, sorry, I know that looks weird on camera. So you just tight line. You take a really soft glide on pencil, and it makes sure when you're doing your mascara, it's going to make your lash line look thicker without lashes. I'm using this one, the 24/7 glide on eye pencil from Urban Decay. This is the best you can get, and it lasts forever. It's amazing. I've heard that cheaper versions that are good are ColourPop has a good one, but I've never used theirs. I'm going to take, always curl your lashes, please. Makes such a difference. You can, I mean, it makes it where everything looks fake. And if you're doing shimmer, I've told you guys before, you're going to curl. You're going to take, I use baby wipes for everything. Baby wipes or makeup wipe or whatever. And you clean in between, because if not, you're going to transfer the shimmer to the other eye in the wrong spot. Eye, pinch, 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 pinch. Like that. And then I'm going to take my trusty Lash Princess Curl and Volume, which I absolutely love. I'm really noticing a difference in the eyelash serum I'm using. It's a Baji, and it is really taken off. You can't even see the thickness in this camera, but it's off the chain. Like, they're so long and thick and so much better than what I had bought it. I forget. Sephora has it. Ulta. It's absolute garbage. I wish I could remember exactly what it is, but it's in a gold tube, and it actually made my freaking lashes shorter. Like, are you kidding me? Look how beautiful. So this thickens them. It honestly makes my lashes look like falsies between the Baji serum and this stuff. Half the time I don't even use lashes anymore. Recently, I haven't. And then I always add on extra. This is to pull them upward a little bit more. And this is the original Lash Princess. Look how freaking long they are. Good Lord in heaven above. And if you want to do lower mascara, you can. I actually like the look of that, but I am not going to do that for the gym because I sweat like a freaking hoe bag in church. And I don't want it to be all in her. I mean, everything's being gone the second I get on a Stairmaster or whatever that thing is. The stairs to nowhere. I think that's what Pam says. The stairs to nowhere. So I'm adding in highlight. I always highlight my inner corner. Look how cute that looks. Makes your eye look more open. And it just adds that little feminine touch. It's perfect. So look how stunning that is. I can see this on any bride. So between the two, Natasha Glam palette, which I always have ready. I have some palettes I keep kind of stored away down in my drawer. And that's this one, Nudie Patootie, but I honestly need to start dipping into this more because it's awesome. Beautiful. So you have all my recommendations on palettes that I like the most for soft glam or bridal makeup and things that I would use that have a great formula there. There's our eye look. We look stunning. Look at that. I think that's how they do where they go, okay, let's take a final snapshot to put as your little thing for YouTube, the little cover photo. Push your eyelashes up and we are completely ready to go. You guys have a great day. See you later.